Hello, good people of YouTube. Today we have a replay from Cubazet. I think that's how you say your name, dude. Cubazet 99 here in the Tier 10 German battleship Kurfurst. Those of you that are regulars on this channel know that this is my absolute favorite ship in the game. I love the ship. Her armor is and plus the horn sounds very good. Her armor is thick, which, I mean, can get you pinned from range pretty easily by other battleships, but up close her armor is amazing. Here she has completely bonkers secondaries. You can out to 11.6 kilometers, which Cubazet does have his secondaries out that far. She can have 12 guns, either 406s or 420s. I do believe Cubazet went with the 420s. We'll find out here in a second when he fires. So Cubazet is going to A along with, well, most of his team. There are carriers in the game, however, they are Tier 8 carriers, and, well, even with Tier 8 carriers, the Kurfurst does not like them, does not like carriers all that much. Her AA was alright before the rework, but after, I mean, who really knows after the rework. So there's a Donskoy kind of broadside, angling in a little bit, unfortunately goes undetected. The enemy Lexington is, of course, spotting, well, probably most of Cubazet's team right now. There's a Donskoy again. Yep, 32-second reload means he went with the 420mm guns. And let's see, it's really nicely broadside Donskoy. RNG's of strikes. Does get about 7,000 damage off on the Donskoy, but could have been a lot better. I personally was hoping for a nice Citadel and deletion would have been a lovely way to start the game. And it looks like Cubazet's team is following the new Deathball meta. They are all going to A and just stopping short of going forward. You see a lot of ships do this now after the carrier rework because they don't want to be singled out by the carrier. So, you know, everyone follows each other, but then they kind of just wind up in a mass of ships and kind of just sit there for most of the match. Now Cubazet is detected. You got a Des Moines shooting at the Alabama behind him. North Carolina's also shooting at that same Alabama. Cubazet gets 2,700 damage off on that Des Memes. Looks like nothing's targeting him just yet. Oh, no, wait. I think that might have been the Zhao that did. He's got his burn time down to about 45 seconds. Well, which is very good on the Kurfurst because everything loves to set this puppy on fire. He's popped his heal to mitigate some of the burning damage. A lot of battleship players should do that, and a lot of I'm sorry, I'll say a lot. You see a lot of battleship players do that, and they should do that. That's what I meant to say. Flubbed over my words a bit there, but yes, they'll pop their repair party to mitigate the fire or flooding damage, and hold on to that damage con until you get multiple fires or flooding on your ship. Me personally, I wait for about 3 before I use it. Looks like Cubazet waits for 2, then he uses it. Ooh, gets a nice double Citadel off on that Des Memes. Clears 27,000 health off of the Des Memes from that. Looks like he's rather popular now. You got the Des Moines, the Tashkent, and what I'm assuming is the Zhao undetected behind that island. Shooting at him now. His damage con and repair party are on cooldown right now, so he gets a fire set, he can't really do too much about it. Waits for his rear turrets to reload, and fires off again on that Des Memes. And, looks like he didn't lead it. Ooh, yeah, looks like he didn't lead it enough, and plus RNG just straight up said no. Now, Cubazet is on fire in 3 places. That hurts a lot. That is a lot of health burning away every second. You do not want to be in this situation in a battleship because you're just losing so much health at this point. You will most likely, if you don't have a good chunk of health left, you're probably going down. Fortunately for Cubazet, his repair just came off cooldown, so he has now popped it. And, yeah, it's managing to just keep his health at right about 44,000 health until the 2 fires burn out. Now it's just a single fire, so no big deal, and it's going to burn out in 3 seconds. Plus his damage con will be off cooldown in 3 seconds as well. Alright, so he's off fire now. About 42,000 damage done, but he's also down to about half health already. He is now down to just 3 repair parties. Looks like the enemy team has captured B and C. It looks like pretty much every ship on QubaZ's team has gone to A except for one cruiser out there at C. Poor fellow. Looks like there is one battleship down on the enemy team side. Other than that, game's still fairly close. The enemy team is leading on caps and points. QubaZ's team is leading on ships. And it looks like the enemy team is just trying to keep QubaZ's team occupied at A, which, I mean, hey, that's all they got to do. They don't need to push or anything. As long as they manage to keep QubaZ's team in A, they'll win. And let's see, what did he shoot at? Did not see, and looks like it didn't hit either. So QubaZ is now sailing out of A, and looks like he may be heading on over to B. He's eyeing up some of the ships coming at the A cap from C. Assuming he was just looking back to see how much of his team was just chilling at A, which is, well, most of it. And now he's found that Des Memes again. And I know I'm saying it Des Memes instead of Des Moines. I just like saying Des Memes. But some of the stuff you can pull off in that ship is quite crazy. So let's see, will he get the kill here? Ooh, 3 overpins on the Des Memes. Pops another heal. Let's leave him down to 2 heals. And, oh, enemy Lexington just sunk in Iowa. That's impressive. A tier 8 carrier sinking in Iowa. Iowa does have quite good A still after the rework. Alright, the Des Moines is sailing straight into B. Now, think about the Kurfurst. With the 420 guns, you can actually punch through the nose of the Des Moines. Des Moines, however you want to say it. So, bow tanking, you really don't care about that too much when you're in a Kurfurst. Well, bow tanking Des Memes at least. I know I've punched through plenty of them playing clan battles. So he is bow tanking, or the Des Moines is bow tanking the Prince Eugen and the Kitakazi, but it looks like he's about to go down. And, oh yeah, he's going down next salvos. Oh, hi, Rune. Surprise Rune popping up just 10 kilometers away from QubaZ. Looks like QubaZ, judging by this version of his secondary guns, QubaZ does have manual fire for secondaries. And, ooh, 10,000 damage on the Rune. Game lags a bit here, gets another 11,000 pin. No citadels, just straight pins. I'm just sorry this replay does jump a bit. It's a replay, it happens sometimes. Rune firing AP at Kurfurst belt armor, it's not the best thing to do, especially when you're in a cruiser. You definitely won't be shooting HE at the Kurfurst if you are a cruiser. This Rune apparently did not get that memo. Anyway, friendly Tirpitz takes him down, and now there's a Bismarck coming out to play, just a mere 12 kilometers away from QubaZ's Kurfurst. Enemy Montana sunk the friendly Prince Eugen. RIP. Looks like enemy team still leading on points. QubaZ's team still leading on ships. Bismarck is within QubaZ's secondary range. Now, the thing about the Bismarck, her secondaries are no slouch either. So either this guy doesn't have a secondary build on his Bismarck, or he has male secondaries and he hasn't selected QubaZ yet, because QubaZ is within the Bismarck secondary range. But he did just take away about a half of that Bismarck's remaining health. So very nicely done there. Enemy Tirpitz took out the friendly Zhao. RIP. Oh. What? Okay, there we go. I thought none of those torpedoes hit. Looks like Bismarck took 1 torpedo. Now he is within secondary range of this Bismarck. Yeah, that Bismarck is very low in health, 3,000 health. Like QubaZ moves in to secure the kill, he secures the kill. Here comes the enemy Montana, 9 kilometers away. Montana, no slouch at close range. Those 12 16-inch guns can hurt. If aimed correctly, the Montana can clear easily 30-40k off of a Kurfurst if you aim for that upper belt, especially at these types of ranges. So QubaZ does do the smart thing and goes in bow on and angled a bit to the Montana. Montana, however, is sailing perfectly broadside to QubaZ. Not the best thing to do, especially within 12 kilometers of a Kurfurst. 2 overpins there for QubaZ. 3 more overpins. I'm suspecting QubaZ thought that Montana was going to continue forward, but no, that Montana just not surged into an island. Broadside away, 6 kilometers away, and there's our first citadel on that Montana, 20k off. Secondary is going absolutely bonkers at this point in time. QubaZ does also have adrenaline rush, if you can't tell by the never-ending stream of secondaries coming off of his Kurfurst. Tanks that shot, no problem. We'll probably tank these other 2 shots, no problem too. Yep, no problem there. Tanks that. 5,000 damage, 2,700 damage from off of the Montana. Friendly Lexington moves in to secure the kill on the enemy turrets that was, well, right behind there. This Montana's slowly backing up and regretting his life decisions at this point. Some torpedoes are coming around the corner, what I'm assuming are from the Mogami. There's also the Donskoy, the Tier 9 Russian cruiser, also moving in at 3 kilometers away. It does have torpedoes, and Cubazet knows this, so he stops. The friendly turrets coming up on Cubazet's left, though, not so much. He's still going in pretty hot, although it does seem like he's trying to slow down now. His secondary is also going ham on what I'm assuming is the Mogami. Okay, yeah. Turpitz does kill the Montana, what I'm assuming is by a fire that his secondaries started. Donskoy dumps his torpedoes and starts to turn. Cubazet is backing up just in case. Friendly Turpitz, not so much. Also, if you didn't notice, Cubazet is now out of heals. So he still has just under 9 minutes left in this match, and he has no heals left. So any fire or flooding that he gets, it's gonna hurt that much more. Donskoy burns down the friendly Turpitz. Enemy team still up on points, down on ships though, but they still have both caps. And there's a North Carolina 6 kilometers away from Cubazet, very, very close. North Carolina still 9 16-inch guns, 3 per turret. Hurts a lot at close range. And Cubazet starts to move up. I'm assuming he's still weary of the cruisers to his right because he does not want to eat a wall of torpedoes when he goes around this corner. And a little bit of replay lag there. This North Carolina is still going bow on Cubazet. Very smart of this North Carolina's side because he does not want to eat a broadside of Kurfurst comes from that close. However, he is eating quite a lot of, well, everyone else's guns that are coming toward the B cap from A. He is still charging straight at Cubazet. Enemy Lexington sinks the friendly Zal. That Lexington is putting in a lot of work. Cubazet has slammed it into reverse, so assuming he does not want to be blapped away by this NorCal. Now, the NorCal probably could have almost deleted Cubazet if he had lived. However, the NorCal and the friendly Alabama trade kills. So enemy team is still up by points. It's down on ships though. However, if they can still manage to just contain Cubazet's team, they can certainly win. I've seen it happen before. If a team doesn't want to push, they just want to sit on the cap all day, you'll be surprised what you see. And what a warship will. Some of you won't be, some of you will be. Cubazet pops his fighter planes to see if they can detect any ships. Sounds like a couple got shot down by the Mogami's AA. So, well, there's the Mogami. Cubazet now moving forward. Now there's a Tashkent. And Cubazet shows that island who's boss. Looks like he may be trying to turn around. He's checking behind him, making sure no one's sneaking up behind him. Thankfully, that Tashkent is the end. Again, enemy Lexington sinks the friendly Kitakazi. This guy put in some work this match. You'll see him toward the end. Yeah, so Cubazet again checking behind him, make sure nothing's sneaking up behind him, because you see that Mogami is trying to come around the corner of that island. And again, Cubazet is out of repair party, so he really doesn't want to be set on fire. He's also capping B by himself. Pops Hydro. Make sure there's no surprise torpedoes anywhere. You never know when you're playing a battleship. You get a little bit paranoid about torpedoes. So Cubazet also at 180,000 damage, and the game is not over yet. Alright, Mogami pops up within secondary range. That's Mogami's first mistake. Second mistake is, well, popping out in the first place, especially this close to a Kurfurst. Yeah, well, Buffalo gets him. Not really sure why he popped out. Really sure he just ran. Try to win on points. Does get a cap reset on Cubazet. That might have been what he was going for. So enemy Lexington coming in with some rocket planes. Well, he was coming in. His rocket planes are now shut down. Enemy Zal 17 kilometers out at nice Zal range. I'm assuming he's going to start to spam Cubazet with some HE here. Cubazet taking aim. Looks like a bit of a guesstimation shot. That's those shots where you really don't take too much time to aim. You just say, I think he's going to be here, and just let the shells fly. 17 kilometers out. Gets one overpin though. Cubazet starts to hug this island a little bit. I'm assuming that's to get something solid in between him and that Tashkent because he does not want to be set on fire. The Lexington has spotted Cubazet, and looks like his torpedo planes are coming in. Cubazet gets a solo capture ribbon on the B cap. Lexington torpedo planes come in. And again, Kurfurst and other German battleships do not have great torpedo protection, so this could do a lot of damage or some flooding. Fortunately, it doesn't do either because it was a carrier drop torpedo and their damage has been, well, nerfed quite, well, severely. But still, it is damage that QBZ cannot repair. Also, he's out of fighter planes too. QBZ is burning through his consumables. So that Zao was detected. It did look like he was turning broadside onto QBZ last time he was spotted. Tashkanet is spotted off the QBZ's left. I'm assuming he targeted him for a secondary fire right there. Well, German secondaries are really good, especially the Kurfurst, are really good at burning down destroyers. Ah, there's that Zao 12 kilometers away. That's just within the sweet zone of the gross Kurfurst guns. Luckily, though, none of that set on fire. QBZ lets all 12 guns fly, and let's see what the results are. Lexington comes in with some bombs, and ow! Out of that Zao too. 16,000 health off of that Zao. One fire burning on QBZ. Now, oh well, I was about to say I would hope he would hold his damage con there. Granted, this is a tough situation. He's out of heals, but he's on fire, and there's a Zao right in front of him. Fortunately for him, the Zao switches over to AP. Again, I guess the Zao has bigger guns, but you really don't want to shoot AP at a broadside Kurfurst unless it's perfectly flat, because, well, that's going to happen. It's all going to bounce. QBZ lets off another hail of fire, and up there we go, another Citadel, a pin, and that's one sunk Zao, and plus high caliber for QBZ. Now, to make note here, enemy's team still ahead on points. Now they're not. Now they are. So all the enemy team has to do is sink QBZ, and that will give them another point stream. There's only 2 minutes left in the game. So if they can do that, maybe sink another ship, they can still win this. It's not over with yet. And QBZ's out of heal. His damage con's on cooldown. There's some more carrier drop torpedoes. Tashkanet is spamming him with HE. QBZ tells him to piss off, and well, he pisses off. And oh, hello Lexington. QBZ has just found a chew toy in the form of an American aircraft carrier. And he is perfectly broadside, 13 kilometers away. The fire on QBZ's gross Kurfurst is burning out in 5 seconds. And now this Lexington is all his to play with. Granted, well, there comes another wave of dive bombers in. Granted, his QBZ, ooh, 2 Citadels, almost 30,000 damage off of the Kurfurst. There's the Confederate award. Here comes in the Lexington dive bombers. And ooh, they missed. They just missed, thankfully, because German battleships do have big superstructures that American dive bombers, while they can't pin it, can still do nice damage to that. And another Citadel, 14,000 damage, 12 kilometers away from the Lexington, getting his last set of guns on target. He's at 253,000 damage right now. Lets those last set of guns fly, and that's one sunk Lexington. So, fun fact, this was actually QBZ's record for damage in a single game. So very nicely done there, QBZ. Very entertaining game, and believe it or not, a pretty close game throughout. If QBZ's team had decided to stay in A any while longer, they probably wouldn't have won that match. Thankfully, something wise up and decided, hey, we need to get out of this cap and start doing some other stuff, because if not, we're going to lose. And they could have very easily lost if just 1 or 2 things didn't go right. You know, if QBZ or if Orange Jesus didn't help QBZ hit that Tashkanet, could have easily burned QBZ out before the game was over. And then, given the way that Lexington player was just having his way with everybody, it would have been too hard for him to just get another ship or 2 and for the enemy team to win. So hey guys, if you liked the video, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and we are under 100 subscribers away from that. That is amazing, you guys. I'm hoping we're going to get there before late-ish April, but I'm pretty sure with it we will. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday. Be sure to leave a nice comment in the comment section for QBZ, and I will see all of you guys in the next one.